My dude, fuck is you impressing? All these grown-ass men pretending to be former co-defendants of Colombian and Italian bosses is testing my patience. Old boys using their imagination to play the game, to force flag and take the name of Mexican cartels. It's a heavy lift, a hard sell, like them tall tales told by them scrawny motherfuckers that claim to be pushing hundreds of pounds with the barbells. And the way my regiment is set up, I can give a fuck about how much weight you claim to have moved from motels. I am not charged up, shocked, or amped by your sales, your currency, or your plug. As far as I'm concerned, a real man is judged by the level of his wife and children's respect and love, and the strength he shows his community. Not how much he talked about being tough, or how many neighbors he filled up with slugs, or how your uncanny upbringing forced you into becoming the king of slinging birds. Your stories are childish, and you're making me feel like I'm back in the days of the high school cafeteria again. Scram, who told you you could stand in the same room with men? A sister told me when she was a child, her brother told her grandfather he saw a rat. And her grandfather put down his cigar and stood up tall and said, I'm gonna find us a new place to live. By the time I pull up with a moving truck, everybody just need to be packed. And I recall a sister noticing me glance at her envelope on her coffee table. And she was like, oh, that there, yeah. Whenever my father was doing well and feeling able, he liked to drive around to each of his daughters and hit us with a cash injection. You know, just a little something to take the edge off, help make sure we stay financially stable. And once a sister invited me to a cookout at her family compound, and she was pointing out the houses and the structures. She said, Pops like to make sure we all got options just in case the bottom fall out or some shit go down. Now see, that's the caliber of king I think about when you bring up the topic of OGs. And if you're impressed by cats that publicly confess to being obsessed and owing everything they possess to hood crimes, and you probably ain't dignified or qualified enough to even know me. And don't get me wrong, I know life is heartless and vicious, and far be it from me to put myself in the business of how another man make his bread. But if it's from places and capers that's best left unsaid, then disclosing it for attention just make you an old ass young head. And your stories are childish. You making me feel like I'm back in the days of the high school cafeteria again. Scram, who told you you could stand in the same room with men? Frederick Douglass said it's easier to raise strong boys than it is to repair broken men. And Carter G. Woodson said, if you can convince a man he's inferior, you ain't even got to point him to the back door. He'll automatically insist the front door ain't where he deserved to come in. And fuck all that slumming. I'm on that Marcus Garvey. Whatsoever man has done, man can do. So if you're telling me that men have set their entire family up for success, then you're a fool to suggest that I can't manifest and do that shit too. And if how you move is on some other kind of way, it should be easy for you to appreciate why I refuse to associate or even talk to you. America is a police state, and it's awkward to know you got potential charges hanging over your head and still be addicted to bragging about your crimes, your cash pile, and your arsenal. And if what you really want is a taunt and inform law enforcement, then of course it should be obvious why it would be important to me to make sure I comport myself far from you. Because people might think we're affiliated. And then you'd be tempted to drag my name and my business into your allocution and profit too. And it's always y'all doomed fools that live y'all lives based on what would Scarface, Escobar, or Hoffa do. And your point of view is childish. And you're making me feel like I'm back in the days of the high school cafeteria again. Scram, who told you you could stand in the same room with men?